Good morning. It is Sunday, the 3rd of November 2019. Overnight, Bitcoin has breached a very small top formation, but how bad is it? Many indicators have taken a little bearish turn, and some projections are calling for Bitcoin to retest $8,100 as low as $5,800. In today's episode, we'll see if our indicators show any kind of bullish divergence that might save the day here, or determine have the bears actually taken the driver's seat from here. Near the end of the episode, we'll look at what's going on with Bitcoin dominance and what effect that might be having on the altcoin market. All that and more on today's episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin. Now, of course, this isn't trading advice, just market observation. You can pause the video here to read through the full disclaimer. Let's jump into the charts right now. I'm zoomed into the 10-second bars, not the 1-minute bars. This is the 10-second bars. And so prices have come down just early this morning and they bounced along sideways. I like to use this chart just for the entertainment value of it, actually. And I like to watch for the liquidations to occur. This is what happens here, is that this tracks any of the big liquidations on BitMEX and many of the other exchanges. Now that Binance is up to 125 times leverage, there's probably going to be a lot more liquidations coming through on Binance. And that's what you'll see here in this episode. Up along the top corner in the little television screen, there is the same, the liquidation watch. So as we're streaming, we can look at that to see if anybody's getting liquidated. I'm gonna do a test here and I'd like your feedback. I have microphone setting number 1. This might be loud. This is microphone setting number 2. This is microphone setting number 3. This is microphone setting 4. Which one do you like? Number 4, number 3, number 2, or number 1? Let me know in the chat which of those are better. And if you're watching the replay afterwards, you can leave a comment in the description down below. The mic has been a persistent challenge to get correct. The chart we're looking at here is Bitcoin prices on the 1 hour time frame. This is the same chart, 1 hour time frame. And I've got them set up so that we can see the number of longs and the number of shorts relative to the price. And so I'm watching to see what are the longs doing as greed gets us all going, fear goes through social media, more greed gets in there, more fear comes in. It's pretty crazy how in this sideways action just over the last few days, the longs have gone up and down this wildly, and the shorts have gone down as the price went up, but they didn't really FOMO quite as much as the longs are. So I want to keep a close eye on this from day to day as the prices move along. Not much difference, but number 4 for you, and I'm on number 1 right now. Hey Sultan, good to have you along. Travis Smith, you like number 1? So we are split there on number 1 and number 4. They both sounded pretty similar to me as well. But no. So what I zoomed into here is, give me that. This morning when I got up, I said, oh, look at this, nice divergence. This is probably going to hold up the market from here, even though it's and then we scooted down a little bit more past these technical levels. And that's really important. I don't want to dismiss that, and I want to go through the higher time frame indicators. But first of all, I'm starting off here at the 5-minute time frame, which isn't usual, and I want to look at what happened when we were this oversold before. And it's not something I pay that much attention to as when we're super oversold, but when we are, I want to note it in different time frames. So we'll come back and take a look at this to see if we may be bouncing up from here, or if this trend line is going to continue and the RSI stays below these levels, there's more downside coming on the 5-minute time frame. Let's go to the next indicators, then I'll go back through the regular longer time frames. Dumping going on here. As I pull back, we had buying. Gotta go back one, my apologies. Because I'm also watching for the divergences across this double top. And one of the divergences we see here, give me the drawing tool, we had dumping at this top, we had buying at this top. So there was that's a divergence. As we came up to this top, there was almost no buying on it. As we were coming up here, it was weak. And then we had dump, dump, dump. Let's see how this turns out now. If I go into the MACD indicator, when I first got up this morning, I was pretty excited about this. Well, I thought this was going to be a divergence that turned us around. And I posted this in our Discord chat. As soon as I got up, I said, hey, is this enough of a divergence to hold up the entire Bitcoin market from going down? But then no, it broke down. So we'll go into higher time frames and see how that is working out as well. The Ichimoku cloud gave us some different information here as well. So when we had the double top and we went through the cloud, it was pretty quick. And this was 11 p.m. last night, thereabouts. And now it's 5, 6 in the morning. I don't know what the time change has done to things. I'll have to actually look. And so over that period of time, we got quite a move back. Good strong selling back. Let's go to the next indicator and the Bollinger Bands. I don't know, on the 5-minute time frame, I'm probably out of my league here, but this is making of the 1, 2, 3 top formation, right? 1, 2, 3, made another little 1, 2, 3. That's a springboard pattern. It's broke the trend line. That is a clear setup. This is what I look for. Just not so much on this time frame. So that it's doing this, I want to pay attention to what the Bollinger Bands are doing. Now, especially, I want to zoom out to pretty much the 4-hour and the 12-hour time frame is the stuff I'm really studying. This is staying above the 12-hour mid frame, and it is could come down more actually to be a buy signal in this 4-hour time frame. So it could come back to the 93 or 9,000 level, and this would still be okay so long as the 12-hour doesn't breach past this midline. That's got to stay above the midline, or this is a confirmed 1, 2, 3 top with exhaustion candles there. Let's go backwards now and go through our Ichimoku cloud. The 1-hour time frame, it is just poking through the cloud. It hasn't twisted negative yet, but it has a few of the negative indicators. That's negative, that it's caught through everything, this trailing indicator. Blue did cross below red just overnight after we did this. So after I was in bed, this broke down, it crossed over, and it's poked down below, but not twisted negative. So let's go see what the 4-hour time frame's done on this. It is still okay so far. It could be a buy signal in the uptrend, except for that. That's not so good. The blue crossing over this. The green has not really cut through everything yet. So I'm stretching for it here to see if this is going to still be a buy signal in the uptrend for the Ichimoku cloud. And I do have to zoom out to the 12-hour time frame just to see what's going on here. Where's the blue? The blue is still way above the red. It's still good in the 12-hour time frame. And just a little bit of a freak out now in the shorter time frames. That's important to know. Let's go back. Travis. Hey TV, good to have you along. We'll take a look at BQX, AGI, and NEX again at the end of the episode for sure. Because at the end of the episode, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance and what is it doing to the altcoins. If Bitcoin is coming down, this could be the bottom formations that the alts go to the moon. And we have some new data that's available for free on the homepage of the website for you that you will like to see it every day. Now, this is cross to the positive here. Yeah, I'm stretching it on this kind of time frame, but this is a baby 1, 2, 3 formation. Let's see if this divergence grows in different time frames. Let's go back to the 1-hour time frame. It has crossed to the negative. That's not good on the 1-hour time frame. Not definitive. Let's go on back out to the 4-hour time frame. This was exciting for me yesterday because this had crossed to the positive, and I was pretty convinced that that was it. We were up and going, but it's crossed to the negative again now. And if we go out to the 12-hour time frame, it is still crossed to the negative. This crossed to the negative earlier when we were doing the 1, 2, 3 top formation here. And this is important. 1, 2, 3 top formation. 12-hour MACD has already crossed over to the negative. Now the 4-hour has just crossed to the negative, though it was trying to go positive. The 1-hour is crossed negative. The 15-minute is just starting to hold itself at these levels. The 5-minute has crossed back to the positive. So really, the 5-minute, the 15-minute have to pick themselves back up in order to pull this out of the doldrums. The only thing that's still kind of bullish is the 1-day time frame. So I don't know. We'll see how this unfolds. I was pretty bullish earlier, but this is certainly a different view. After we broke this level, really makes a big difference. Now, because it's a 1, 2, 3 top formation, and now I want to see what's going on with the volume going. Okay, it was nice little trickle of positive volume. We got a little bit of dumping, but really that's not significant compared. It's not significant yet. We've had deeper dumping than that. We've had deeper dumping all the way along than that. So that little pullback there doesn't seem to have the juice. Let's go on to the 4-hour, out to the 12-hour. This is still juice. Like, it's still got power. It's still got a good amount of buying overall, though we do see the divergence of lower buying on this second level. Back out to the 1-day view. This is still okay. This is still, sort of what happened at the very beginning. We just have to maintain this steady on balance volume as we're going sideways, and we could be setting up for the next stage higher. I think we've already just done this moment right here, and we're going to be going sideways, fluctuating, all this conversation as it's, and then we're going to start doing that loop, and I could be completely wrong. That's why I want to study this every day. And it's tough. Some days I want to miss a day. There's other things going on. But then, of course, that's going to be the day that I needed to record it, because the big shit's going to happen and I don't have the data that I wanted to be recording. And that's happened to me before, for sure. And so I've made this project more public and available to more people, so that it becomes more important to update it every day. And you can become part of the group of people that has access to that stuff too. 1-hour time frame, the exponential moving average is almost crossing, but that is really oversold in the relative strength index. The only other time it was that oversold, there's a few times, and it still went down lower, so there's no guarantees here. This went lower and we had a divergence from that low. So we still could go lower. I don't know. Let's zoom in on this. Well, I already zoomed in on that. I gotta zoom in again, because this is diverging, breaking this trend line. We do have a divergence setting up here, and let's see how that plays out. Let's see if that still shows the divergence. Not so much. Not as strong. What's going on here? So we have this break of the trend line. We had a break of that trend line right as we were breaking. So again, the break of the trend lines that are going on in the RSI really make a difference. So now that this has made a new trend line, I'm going to watch that. But let's zoom back out, a 4-hour time frame. Yeah, we were watching both of these trend lines the last few days. This trend line, kind of a shitty trend line, but the break here as it was coming up was significant for me. As it was coming up, I thought, oh yeah, here we go. We're going to be mooning. Now it's pulled back, but still close enough that there's still hope for those bulls that may be wanting it to be going higher from here. And the 12-hour time frame, still not too bad. It's still above the midline. The 1-week time frame, this is getting more important actually. It's Sunday. This is the last day of this candle. So that it has made a bit of this uptrend is wonderful. And it's taken such a long time for this. Since December, I've been saying the same thing, though the trend line I anticipated was a little bit higher and that we would be going up sooner. Now that we've hit this trend line, I want to pay attention. I want to pay attention all the way along. Every time it's doing this, I want to pay attention to the time frame of what happened here, what happened here, what happened here, what happened here, and compare all of those, and what happened here. I want to compare all of those times so that we can make an inference of what might be going on in this one. I'm going to go out to the 1-month view in this chart and zoom in to where we can see it. This is important because we have exhaustion wicks all the way along here. And should this start to break, we're probably going quite a bit further down. So it really is at the point where we are going to go logarithmic crazy higher, because we just broke above this 20 period moving average, and we're sitting in a very similar position to this in all of our indicators. So we could be at a position of crazy higher, and it could take months yet for that to unfold. Or if those exhaustion wicks are right, this has a long ways to come down if we start breaking those areas. So very interesting stuff going on. Let me know if you've got any requests. That's pretty much the episode. I want to finish up just a little bit by going over to what the altcoins are doing. Here's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. So as Bitcoin did this move up, as Bitcoin did this move up on Friday, everything did a move down. And this, to me, is very similar to what we saw back in April. So let me go to the 1 year view, clear up all this stuff, get rid of that, get a log view. In April, when we had this happen, I still wasn't ready to get rid of my alts at the right time. Now that we've had this happen again, I am going to err on the side of being prepared for this. Even if it takes a while, I'm not going to stop watching for that to happen. Even if it comes down, every time it comes down, I'm going to continue watching for that to happen until these exponential moving averages cross to the negative. I'm going to be watching for this all the way along for this to happen. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean to the Bitcoin dominance, because we can see here that in this time frame, as I'm watching, grab a drawing tool, this has been a really important consolidation building up here that broke higher, and is every once in a while showing great strength as Bitcoin is showing strength. But as soon as Bitcoin is easing off, this is starting to drop. There's some really key levels here that are going to tell us when the altcoins are taking off or not. But the thing is, we need to know which are the altcoins are taking off. So I've been doing the bull market watch for more than a year now, where we're color coding all of the alts and we're tracking the bullishness and bearishness of them. It's been fantastic. It's worked out very well. And now I have a pie chart available on the website that is live, pulled from the spreadsheet. So you can just go to the website and see how bullish are we. We have 7 alerts in Poloniex, and we have 6 hold coins in Poloniex. We have 29 alerts in Binance now, and we have 17 hold status coins. So if after tomorrow's scan we go through this and we see that there are more alerts and less neutral coins, we can tell that the bull market is starting to come for the alts. We'll see the wave coming. Not only will we see it in our pie charts, but we break it down into detail so that you can see this green line here was the wave of all of the hold coins in September, and that we've been staging out of the alts all the way along the last couple weeks. Our indicators are telling us to sell out of the alts. Now the indicators are just starting to pick up a little bit again. So it may be that the alts are ready to blast, and I don't think that they're going to go slowly this time. We're not going to get a nice gentle 1, 2, 3 bottom that's going to ease its way and then start accelerating. It's going to go wham. And there's the thing that's to pay attention to is that if Bitcoin dominance is rising fast and Bitcoin turns around and it starts to rise fast from here rather than falling back, if this is rejected, let me clear this off and zoom in. If this is rejected from here and we start to rise and we start to pull up out of this formation that's been building up for the last little bit, and this is indeed a notice to us that money is coming into Bitcoin and we shouldn't be ignoring it, then Bitcoin's going to go up, altcoins are going to get crushed into oblivion, and you don't want to hold them. On the other hand, when we saw the bull market watch take off here, we saw that a percentage of the coins went way up and did well. 34 coins on Poloniex and 129 total coins were bullish, but that is 79 of them were in hold status and 56 of them were in alert status but never got into a hold status. So there was a definite percentage of coins that were really good returns. We made some great profits on some of those. And then there was a whole bunch of them that were neutral. They just like languished along. We should not have gotten into those coins, and we didn't. So if you want to know which coins to get into, which coins to get out of, and when, I invite you to head over to the website and check out our Bull Market Watch portfolio helper. It is $15 a month, crazy deal. You can't get that anywhere else to cover everything in Binance and everything in Poloniex. End of commercial. Now let's go back to checking out the coins that you guys want. Let's go BQX, AGI, and NEX because they were first. We clear to BTC, get rid of this, scroll down to BQX. Still nothing doing. Still floating along pretty much the same as yesterday in that it needs to break at least above this level. If I go into some indicators, I would also want to see that the RSI is breaking above these levels. And then I could be planning to stage into it. If I like this coin, I know it's got a future, I know that it's just the market trend that's against this coin, and I want to get in as soon as I can, then I still want to be safe because we've had bottom formation after bottom formation after bottom formation all the way along here, and it hasn't changed directions yet. And so I don't want to jump onto a car or anything that's going, I want to go east and this is going west. I know it's going to go east eventually. I'll just stay where I am. I'll let it go all the way west all at once. And when it comes back to me, okay, I'm good. Let's jump in. Let's go east. That is, it's going to break this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and it's probably going to stage above these levels. And it's pretty much the same story for all of these alts where you want to feather in. If it starts to break above this, you could feather in just the smallest bit. Wait for it to show that it's changing directions before putting the nitro on. Don't do it on the corner. This is when we can get screwed. And if Bitcoin is going to moon, as I think it's going to, then I do believe the alts are going to get a smack down of another 40% losses. And it's going to look like this. And wreckage is going to happen for everybody who has their stop losses down below the markets. You may be able to ride it out without a stop loss. I can't guarantee that. Who knows how long this could go sideways. You know, you really want to watch only the ones that are going up. So ideally, if you're investing and you have a job and you're taking $20 every paycheck and you're putting it into your investment portfolio, whatever it is. It could be your RRSPs, it could be some equities like stocks and bonds, it could be gold and silver that you go and buy, it could be cryptocurrencies that you go and buy. When you go and buy gold and silver, they just pile up over there and you stack your coins. That's a good idea in these days. When you put some money into cryptocurrencies, consider it in cryptocurrencies. This is my idea. So it stays in cryptocurrencies, either in Bitcoin or in an altcoin. Predominantly always in Bitcoin, and then only in altcoins when we are in a bull market, and only a percentage of it. So, and then you would just get out of your cryptos when they are topping out and coming down and go back into Bitcoin. Right? You wouldn't move your silver back and forth into other things, it stays there. Same with the cryptos. And if you are all in cryptos and you don't have any other investments, then I recommend that you're in the right path, you're on the right direction. You're probably ahead of most of the population. But now, diversify a little bit. Look for different things that you can be putting your money into, not just crypto. Because this trading system works for no matter what you're trading. If you're looking at gold and silver, this 1, 2, 3 bottom system, the trend lines, everything, it all works. No matter what you're trading, corn, silver, soybeans, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, consolidation, build up. The RSI is happy. This is good. Should this be building up above these levels and breaking this trend line? It is. Stage micro, maybe stage nano of the trade because it hasn't proven it's changing directions. It's proven to me that it's gone sideways for months, July, August, September, October. No, there's other things I could have had my money into than this. And I should have, it's easy to see in hindsight, but when that 4-hour EMA crosses over, the party's done, it's no more fun anymore. We can wait for it to cross back to the positive, wait for the 12-hour to cross back to the positive. Here, again, it's a tester and you have to get out. just for self-protection and to put that money into something that is moving, not something that's going down. There's so many levels of reasons for these things. I love the whole art of and the science of trading. And the next one is NEX. And I appreciate you guys coming along and asking questions. It's helped me more than you can know to have other people asking me questions about my trade. I still don't know what NEX is. I still don't know if I'm on the right coin here or not. Is this it? Let me know in the chat there, TV, if this is the NEX that you're looking at. Because it's actually a little ahead of most everything else, although I don't like the bottom and I wouldn't have been able to trade this at all the way along, ideally. If I'd followed my rules, this is still lower lows here, and it didn't make a very nice 1, 2, 3. We've got exhaustion wicks going up here. Even though the 12-hour EMA crossed, I may have, yeah, it is an actionable trade there. It is an actionable trade, and you could have had your stop loss down below these levels. You could still be holding this with your stop just above your entry and just wait and see. So it was a tradable formation here in September. September the 8th was a really key weekend. I remember doing the video that day. It was awesome. Hey Claudio, I'm not sure if this is the first time you've been here. I appreciate you being along. And Dan, we're going to take a look at ENJ and Link. Buy 40,000 Ripple. Yeah, Link, don't know, but seems good. Let's take a look at ENJ and Link. Binance, filter by Bitcoin. Get rid of my favorites. Scroll 3 times down to Link. That's still top formation-ish. Very good to be aware of the top formation here. The 12-hour EMA has not crossed over yet. And so our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, I think we got the entry here at 18 something or other. 18 something or other. 18.8 was our entry. Clear this off. So our entry was here on 18.8 as we made this formation. Came up to a 62% profit or something by this time as it made this top. And so if you had taken your profits at this top formation, you're out of it. You don't have to worry about all of this. Certainly would have been hard not to FOMO in again on this move. But now that we've had this top and we have this divergence, it's not giving me the butterfly feeling anymore. It makes me feel that this is going to be coming down. And of course I could be wrong. Let's zoom in to the 4-hour time frame. Now it's getting a little different. We have higher lows going on here, higher lows, and it seems to be building like a bowl shape with higher lows in the RSI. So again, if it crosses this midline and we are breaking above these lines, we're probably in some good position here. Let's go and take a look at Link 2, 3. HIJKL Link. Yeah. Looking bearish. Just from this on the 1-day view. The 12-hour view, hey, it's crossed to the positive right there as we've come down to this. All right, so then as this is starting to switch and turn positive and the 4-hour EMA crosses, then we are seeing what I would call a buy signal in the uptrend, a trend continuation. I do want to see this cross back positive. And if it holds negative, I hold my hands in my pocket. But if it starts to cross positive again and we have like this nice divergence, we've got the cross to and another cross to the positive, it would be as bullish as this one was. Let's go and see what the chart was doing at those times. So yeah, if it crosses positive as we're taking off from here, that is good. Like it's a strong signal, it's a strong continuation buy signal because like we're in an uptrend with this coin. This coin is changing the world. It is a different beast than the rest of the cryptocurrencies. This isn't a copycat of something else. At the same time, we have the exhaustion wicks on this weekly time frame. So that does make me more wary. Cross to the negative, still positive on the weekly view. Wary that it could easily come back to these levels and give us a larger ascending wedge triangle before going to the top. It seems like it doesn't have the juice, but who knows? So I can't use that too much. When I zoom into this close time frame, it gives me enough of a place to take a safer entry. Safer, I mean in that when I'm into, get the right time frame here, when I'm into a coin like this and I'm thinking of a trade entry, then I can find very specific levels where I'm right and where I'm wrong. Should I be correct and it goes my way, I stand to make potential some really good profits. So I could just buy into it right now. Limit order, move it up real close till I just get tagged in, and then I'm only going to hold it if it proves me correct. If it goes down here, I know I'm wrong. It's a very small little move and I know I'm wrong. If it goes above these levels and retests it, I know I'm right. I can make my position bigger. Now I'm good to go. So anytime it does a consolidation like this, and we're starting to see those divergences in the indicators, it's a time to take a risk. A calculated risk with 1% of your entire account, maybe on half of your percent, and then add on another half of a percent of your entire account when it starts to move up. And diversify across all of the coins so that you are not beholden to any one of them. You're not freaking out and losing sleep on any one of them, but you're sort of sitting on that floating mattress that is going along with the entire market. As the tide is rising, so too is your portfolio. And that way, the money is there and it's working for you while you're doing other things, for my own part. Now, let me go back to ENJ. I skipped past that alphabetically. ENJ has some really great upside potential. I'm so excited about all of these coins right now, and I was super excited about them back in February. Why I don't have Bitcoin in the background? What's going on here? And I don't have the background watermark. I apologize. I must have been doing some screenshots that I needed that clear. And then I forget about it. And then we don't get to see it in the live stream. So February 2019, I like to have Bitcoin in the background, especially at this time, because we'd already made phenomenal profits off of trading this out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations here. Crazy. And when it crossed over the 4-hour exponential moving average, got out and just went, wow, amazing to see what happened afterwards. All of the coins that did something between December to April are the coins that are the most favored right now. All the coins that came along through December to April and made a little bump and then have come back down like this, they're not that interesting to me. They're just not interested. They're not that interesting. All the coins that did this back in December to April are on our ultra watch list. We're paying super attention to those, especially right now, because look at the profit here. Let me clear this off and click on shift. 500%, 400%, 300%, 200%. If you would have gotten out after the 1 day exponential moving average, you're still up 200% off of that trade. It's silliness and craziness, and that's why I work so hard at this stuff. That's why I make this spreadsheet. So now, of course, I do in my own studies, I'll pull this back and I get right into it. I go back again to the old videos in February and I watch through what was I saying about this coin at this time? What was I saying about the on-balance volume, the relative strength index? I want to know, because if I see those same patterns setting up here, then I'm even more prepared to be building my position, and quickly. So I'll start off with nano position, micro, medium-sized position. By the time it's even getting anywhere, it's gone so fast before I need to be prepared in advance. There's no adding on to this as it's going like this. You've got to have that plan ready now. So I like it. I appreciate you bringing this one up. This is a good specific example. But zoom out and zoom out. I'm looking at the trend of the indicator here. And it's indecisive right now. And every pump in this last little while has been a fake out. So while it is important to get ready, it's also really important not to get faked into this too soon and be trying to, for me to be buying in and out of these ranges, I just don't even want to do it. It just takes too much work, too much time, too much uncertainty. And so I want to be a smaller position, spread it out wider, and wait for the whole market to turn. Then we're all laughing. 540K Ripple. Well, actually, my fastest way to Ripple. Ripple is really actually phenomenal, and I am watching it like a crazy man because it has come back to the 50% level, which is one of the things I watch for. After any kind of move up, we had a double top, it's come back to the 50% level. It's making a potential 1, 2, 3 top formation, bottom, as this starts to break these levels and to tick up a little bit. If Bitcoin's sliding off and Bitcoin dominance is dropping at that same time, I'm all on it. If Bitcoin dominance is rising, I want to stand back, I want to wait, I don't want to get into it and then having the bag hold it for now. There will be a time, and it is coming so close in all of these alts, it's time for extra homework, it's time for extra vigilance, it's time for extra work. Now, one thing I also want to share, this music is so chill. Morning, assholes, man. Dan says, Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum seem like good long bets. Yeah, they do for long term, but I want to be sure that I am not. I skipped Ripple. Okay, let's take a look. I want to be sure that even though they are looking great, I want to take a lesson from myself. And I may have mentioned this in the yesterday's episode. I was watching a video of mine. I gotta go to Poloniex just so I know I get enough data. I was watching a video of mine from September 2017. September 2017. I was expecting that the alts were making a bottom formation here and that they were about to go higher. And I lost a lot of money holding the bags as things went down. And I didn't make a lot of money as Bitcoin went up. It was a very profound lesson. And when I went through and rewatched the video from September 2017, I was so blind. I was like knowing what's gonna happen. As I was watching this, I went, oh my goodness, because Bitcoin is doing the very same thing. It's just started the same stage as what happened then. And so there was a lot of the altcoins in September that had big skewers down and then they recovered. And I thought, okay, that's our capitulation bottom. As Bitcoin starts to top out and come down from these levels, man, the alts are gonna moon. Absolutely, I'm all in. And then I just couldn't let go. And it was, when I go back and look at the exponential moving averages, they were all bearish the whole time. I was in this denial that the alts were going to be going lower and that Bitcoin was going to go up higher. So for me, this was a really important lesson, especially as I go now to the alts and we come into where we are, and I'm expecting that this is a bottom formation, that the alts are going to be going higher. I want to be sure that I'm erroring on the side of caution this time and not all into alts. So I'm very happy that through this period of time that our bull market watch spreadsheet was giving us exits and exits and exits and exits and exits and exits and just slowly phased off of the alts for now. I can phase back into them, that's okay, but they were crossing over those EMAs and I just moved more and more and more and more back into Bitcoin. So I am keen to see what's going on with Bitcoin prices now, especially against the alts and especially against Bitcoin dominance, because I've taken what I've learned from the past and put it into play. Now we'll see if it is the right play at this time. There's no way to know until the future comes up, but by looking at the comparisons of the past and my own analysis of the past, it has helped me make some much better trades as similar circumstances came up over the last while. And so I'm happy to share this with you guys and hope to have you come over and join us over on our Discord chat. so that you can continue to talk about what's going on with this analysis and this theory as well. I've learned a ton from the people who have come and joined us on our Discord chat, and I hope to have you guys there as well. So I got AGI? Yeah, AGI. They're all the same story, pretty much. There's a groups of stories that we've talked about. One group of stories, everybody consolidated in August. One group of stories went south and laid flat, and we did nothing with them. The other group of stories all went up like this, and we played in those scenarios. In the September 8th weekend, Ethereum, Ripple, many others made trends upwards out of this, while a whole category of coins laid flat. And I'm still not interested in any of those that laid flat. I am much more interested in all of the coins that did this and have come back. These are the more favorite coins because they've already shown a change in direction. They've shown that the market is showing, if they hold here and start to build strength, I'm crazy about them. Even if they dip, I'm going to pay attention to this generation of coins more. And of course, we've got that data. We've got that sorted out here for you if you're interested in this data as well. So it's not just a matter of that feel good, support the stream and come and join us. This is real data. This is important data that I get up and look at first thing with my coffee, and it sets the day. It sets the tone for all the rest of the trading I'm doing for the more advanced entries and exits. Is the music disturbing in the background? It's not soothing. Let me turn it off. You're welcome to object. I definitely skip music. If somebody says skip it, we can kill it. That's annoying to have bad music. So Bitcoin is extremely bullish. Even if Bitcoin goes to 8K, it is still bullish. I agree. I think it is staging to go into crazy higher from here. And I've made this mistake before. I've seen Bitcoin building up and I bet on the alts and I held my alts and Bitcoin went up and my alts went down. So I'm being a little bit more ready to pull out of the alts now, be lighter of foot, and I can still pull back into them. They're still at these beautiful lows. There's lots of time for it. They haven't started their move. And Bitcoin is doing some crazy things just since last week with that huge move up on Friday, and all of the alts have already given us notice. If Bitcoin goes up, I'm going down. And they mean it. It's strong. The correlation is strong. We had that same thing happen on April the 1st, and I thought, oh, the alts are just in a snapback effect. It's just the elastic band effect that they're going to be following Bitcoin soon, and we're going to have Bitcoin dominance dropping. The alts are going up, Bitcoin's going up, and it didn't happen. So I am more prepared for it this time. I'm watching for it. And I would rather get my fame, should this channel actually blow up and grow, I would rather get my fame for telling people to get out of the alts and save all that money, as much as to tell you to get into Bitcoin and make all that money. The when to get out of a trade is so overlooked. Most people are always looking for the entry, and they haven't planned out their exit before they got in. It's like not knowing where I'm going to land the plane before I take off. Just fly that way. Anyway, I'm on a rant. Back into Bitcoin. Let's see what she's doing right now. Not happy. It's right on the edge. So if this is the place for people to freak out and sell their, if this is the weak hands being shaken out here, this is where they're going to be shaken for sure. And it has not bounced back up off of these old lows as fast as other ones have. When we hit that big oversold in the Bitcoin RSI on the 5-minute time frame I was pointing out there, which is I was pointing out this very big oversold detail. This one really bounced. This one really bounced. This didn't stay there long and it bounced. So here we are in another one. Are we going to stay there long? It looks good. We've got a pretty strong divergence across these bottoms now. And with the divergence here, is that enough? We'll see. We'll see it play out. Uh, well, I'll have my mic off for a while there. I'm not sure when I turned it off. But anyway, this is setting up a little bit of a divergence. And I was saying that even though we had this super oversold condition here, this bounced up fast. This bounced up fast. This one bounced up pretty quick. Are we going to bounce up from this level the same way that we did before? We are right at the edge. Breaking below these levels is definitely making the guys in our community who are short up here, they're very happy with this going on right now. Let's watch it over throughout the day. Come and join us over on our Discord chat. We'll keep doing screenshots and we'll keep going through these indicators to verify that this is indeed showing some massive weakness and breaking right now. Where is my MACD indicator? The wrong chart. I'm going, whoa, what's this? So the MACD is crossing negative on the 5-minute time frame. It is already negative pretty good on the 15-minute time frame, but a deep trend there. It is negative on the 1-hour view. It's just crossing negative on the 4-hour view. It's already negative on the 12-hour view. Still, the only thing holding positive is the 1-day view. Crazy. The last time we did an episode, though, we were doing a 4-hour, the 4-hour Bollinger Band was the only thing that was right. It was saying to be buying at the bottom of this band, and everything else was pooing negative here. So let's see what happens over the next day, because we're crossing through this midline where I said it can't do that. For the bulls to be holding their place here, we just don't have room to play. So I'll be watching this liquidation index through the day, because there was a liquidation this morning for a long position that was, I don't know, $1.6 million in crazy. The coins that have not risen are the coins in which the whales are interested in. Well, I do believe that there is manipulation in these markets. I do believe that the institutions know more than we do. They know how to pump up a coin to make it look like it has volume so that they can unload their positions. They know how to load up their position and then sell it at a critical time so that they're pushing the price down to load up more of their position. I also know that the institutional buyers are not using their own personal money. They still get a paycheck, whether that investment goes up in value or down in value. So they don't have the same emotional attachment. They don't care about the short-term wiggles in the market. In fact, they are quite happy to sell a little bit so that everybody panics and sells out, so that they can then purchase a large enough size of a position without moving the market. And so they'll gather it and gather it and gather it. And as it comes down to a key technical level, they know everybody's going to shit their pants. That's when they're selling part of their position so that they can increase the size of their position more cheaply. They know more than we do. They've been at this for a while, and they've learned from people who know more than we do. And so it's important to pay attention to, I do believe that, and I could be wrong, I do believe that this is a push back just before the parabolic rise. And I've seen these before in the ascending wedge triangles where it looks like a top formation all the way along. and I've seen them and I've called them as top formations. I looked at the indicators all diverging, and then it wasn't a divergence. It was a buildup. It was a spring load, not a divergence for a bearish setup. So part of me still believes that this is a spring load and that we are getting ready. Even though it's pulling back right here, it's perfect for the big spring up. And I absolutely could be wrong. So we'll continue to do this live stream tomorrow and see what actually ended up from the analysis today, and we'll continue our analysis of the analyst. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks again, and I'll see you over on our Discord chat. That's it for this episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin.